Coming up on this week's Jaguar Week in Review, we have information for those interested in competing in the second annual Central Minnesota Conference weightlifting competition. Also, we'll take a look at how Spanish classes benefit students here at BBE. That and more coming up. The Jaguar Week in Review starts now. And welcome to the Jaguar Week in Review for this week. I'm Cody Bertram, and thanks for joining us. We start with news. Attention students, are you looking to show off your weightlifting skills? If so, you are in luck. The second annual Central Minnesota Conference weightlifting competition will take place Monday, March 12, 2018 in Paynesville. Those who attend will compete in power cleaning and bench pressing events. Competitors will be separated into different weight classes. This contest is open to both male and female students in 9th through 12th grade, and participants will compete together as a school. All CMC students are encouraged to attend. If you are interested, contact Trish T. Schaefer in person or by phone at 320-248-4558. Attention parents of seniors. A letter to your graduate for the yearbook is an excellent way to personalize the yearbook for your child. A letter is generally a few sentences long with some memorable, meaningful pictures. If you are interested in marking this occasion in the yearbook, contact yearbook@bbejaguars.org with questions. Varsity wrestling sectionals will now take place on a single day, tomorrow on Saturday, February 24th. Sections will take place at the Minnewaska High School. The bus departs at 7 a.m. from Belgrade and Bruton at 7:15. Weigh-ins will begin at 8 a.m. There will be a 5th through 12th grade band concert this Monday, February 26th. It begins at 7 p.m. There is open gym every Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the BBE High School and Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the elementary. The cost is $1 and everyone is welcome. And finally, there will be a school board meeting Monday at 7:30 p.m. in the BBE High School Media Center. Now let's move into this week's check-in. This week, reporter Brady Nelson explored the many benefits that taking Spanish classes can grant students.
As the Spanish students returned from the Spanish Day at the Minnesota Zoo, we thought to visit with some of the Spanish students on why they chose this elective.
Spanish classes are very beneficial when you're looking to go to college.
Because it'll help for college, and then being able to speak more than one language is important.
Knowing Spanish, you can open up yourself for basically any job. Especially around this area, we have a large population of migrant workers. So knowing Spanish specifically, you're better likely to get hired in jobs.
And we come to find out what a typical day in Spanish class is like.
When we go into Spanish, it's kind of like being in kindergarten again, and like we're learning to talk again because it's a new language and we don't know it. So Mrs. Sackwriter talks to us like we're kindergartners, and then that's how we grasp onto the information and learn it. And we do the word of the day, which gives us practice forming sentences in Spanish and like being grammatically correct. So that's kind of what a day in Spanish class is like.
A typical day is first we go and we do the word of the day, and then after the word of the day and she goes over it with us, then she gives us a lesson on her smartboard, and she reviews new words and we put on what it means in English, and then if we have time at the end of the day, we do Duolingo and Quizlet.
And finally, we asked Mrs. Sackwriter why she chose Spanish more than any other language.
Why did I choose Spanish? Well, first of all, I didn't really have a choice. Spanish was the only language that was offered in my high school. And at that point, I was absolutely convinced that I was going to become a veterinarian. And when I talked to other veterinarians and I asked, okay, what elective should I choose? Should I choose ag or should I choose something else? And they said, well, having grown up on a farm, being in 4-H and those things, I knew a lot of the stuff that I was going to learn in ag anyway. So they said, go take Spanish, because the likelihood of needing to know another language, especially Spanish, was going to be very helpful for me because there are so many Spanish speakers in the United States, especially in Minnesota. So I was encouraged to take Spanish, and so I took Spanish all 4 years of high school. And then when I went to college, I switched up my major because I thought, hey, Spanish is fun, and ended up doing that.
If you have any other questions about joining Spanish, feel free to contact Mrs. Sackwriter. With the end of February on the horizon, juniors here at BBE are preparing to take the CTE test. This week, Blake Goodall goes over important information regarding this year's test, as well as past students' thoughts on the test.
Thanks, Cody. The ACT is a standardized test that takes between 3 hours and 3 hours and 40 minutes to complete. The test is used for college admissions and was first introduced by the University of Iowa back in 1959. Now, the test is taken in high schools nationwide. Students typically take the test for the first time in the spring of their junior year in high school. The test is timed with 4 different sections. While the test isn't necessary to be able to get into college, your chances are much greater if you've taken the test, as the ACT is very widely used by today's colleges. To get an idea of how a junior might feel before taking a test for the first time, we asked Mackenzie T. Schaefer, a junior here at BBE, how she feels before taking the test next week and what she's doing to prepare for it.
And to prepare for it, I'm doing IXLs and watching Khan Academy videos.
Then we asked a senior, Jaden Gostin, how she felt taking the ACT the first time and what advice she might give someone who's taking the test for their first time.
My first ACT experience was really nerve-wracking. I was super nervous, but my mom gave me candy the day before, and so that was fun, I guess. But I was really nervous. My advice I'd give the students is that always go with your gut. Your first answer is probably the right one, and if you don't know the answer, move on because it's timed, so every second's valuable.
Then we asked Brittany Schwieters, a counselor at BBE, what exactly the ACT does for students, what the information is used for, and if it's mandatory to be able to get into a college.
So the ACT is a college entrance exam, so students can use it. A lot of colleges will ask for it when they apply to certain schools. Not every school asks for it, but some do. So that's basically what the ACT is used for. And then it also has an interest inventory component, which can give you information about different careers that might be of interest to you. Like I said, some colleges want an ACT score and some colleges do not. So it depends on the college that you'd apply for. So you would have to look up that information so you know what the requirements are.
Be sure to join us next week when we discuss this year's juniors' first experience applying for colleges.
And we would like to wish everyone taking the ACT test the best of luck. Now Riley is here with sports. The girls basketball team about finished with the regular season.
Yeah, Cody, as the girls' basketball season starts to wind down closer to playoffs, I got a chance to sit down with Grace Ilias to take a closer look.
The BBE girls basketball team have been playing very well through the tough season that they have been dealt.
Right now we're sitting at second in our conference and our record is 19-6.
Although young, Grace brings her experience from last year where they advanced to the section finals to this season's team.
I'm a second-year sophomore starting point guard.
The girls played conference rival Kimball on Tuesday night and came away with the win.
It was a quality win. It got the momentum ready for playoffs.
Grace and the team have their mindsets ready on how they are going to be preparing for the playoffs as they look to make a deep playoff run.
We're going to take every game one game at a time. We're going to practice hard and play as a team as the season comes to the end. We have to work together.
The girls are sitting at 12th in the state in Class A according to MinnesotaScores.net. Being ranked that high, the Jaguars have to have a great teamwork.
Our team has really great chemistry. We always comfort each other, and our seniors this year have really great leadership, and they bring out the best in everyone on and off the court, so it's just really easy.
The BBE girls basketball team looks to improve on what has already been a great year by finishing out the end of the regular season strong and heading into the playoffs with their heads held high. The girls will close out their regular season with a road trip to Holding Ford tonight. Now taking a look at the boys team this week. They had their parents and senior night on Thursday when they took on neighboring rival Painesville Bulldogs. And here is the score from that game.
And next week, the boys have their final games on the road in Kimball on Tuesday night and at Holding Ford on Friday to close out the regular season.
All right, sounds good, Riley. And that is all we have for this week's episode. If you would like to catch our future episodes, be sure to subscribe to us at BBE Broadcasting on YouTube, iTunes, and the Google Play Store. For all of us here at BBE Broadcasting, have a great weekend.